everyone, it's Tanya from Royal City Nursery, and today we're talking about some of the bugs that we don't necessarily want to see in our yard. We want to talk about what that damage looks like, we want to talk about how you identify them, and then we're also going to talk, do you actually need to treat them at all? So one of the easy ones to see, well, sometimes, is slugs or snails. So we've got a snail in here, and snails eat holes in the leaves. So there we go, we get carry back so you can see it. Carries on the other side of the camera for me. Slugs do the same kind of damage, and a slug is a snail without a house. Most damage from slugs and snails happen during the evening or overnight because they live underneath the foliage where it's nice and cool. They don't like it very, very hot. If you've only got a tiny bit of slug damage, not a problem. The leaf is actually going to be fine. The people don't like the look of it, but the plant will grow through it. The difficulty is if you've got a ton of slugs and snails, at that point, now you want to deal with it. And in terms of a treatment, there's a few different things. There's either a diatomaceous earth, which is this one here. So this is a powder. It's the same consistency as talc. So literally, all you're going to do is a squeeze. You're just doing a very light dust on your plants. Or you can also use the slug and snail pellet. Both of these totally organic, so it's safe for kids, safe for pets, safe for your vegetables. You can eat this. I wouldn't. Please don't, but you can. Again, it's organic, and both of those will help against slugs or snails. So that's one of the most common ones we've seen this season. We're also seeing a lot of aphid damage. So we're going to get up close and personal here. So this is a mandevilla. And the aphids, when we take a look, are these dark dots that are on the buds. And when we see an aphid, a lot of times we're going to see them on the bud, or we're going to see them in new growth, because that's where all the juicy bits are. Aphids have sucking mouth parts, so they attach onto the leaf, and then literally it's like they shove a straw into the vein and they just start sucking all the good juices out. So how do you tell if you've got aphids? Well, you take a look at the leaves. So if you take a look at that leaf, see how curly that is? This is what the leaf should look like. That one there, right? See the difference? That one's super curled, and this one's very smooth and straight. So this one's curled because we've actually had the aphids in there, and again, they're sucking the juices out of the plant, which causes the plant to shrivel. Do we treat aphids? Well, if you've only got a couple, they're actually fairly easy. Just literally take your hand and run it up the stem and squish them. They pop. It's kind of satisfying. You can blow them off with turn your hose on and do a bit of a jet. But if you've got a lot of aphids, then yes, you should be treating them. And to use one of these insecticidal soaps, there's that one, the insecticidal soap works really well. The Endol works better. This one is a canola oil base, totally organic, but it's oil based, and it has a little bit of pyrethrins in it too. But the oil, more importantly, actually coats the bug. Insects don't breathe through lungs. They don't have lungs. They breathe through their skin. So when we're using an oil base, we're actually coating the bug, which means we suffocate them. So that's how we deal with aphids. And then found this one outside. So this is a caterpillar. And this little guy is related to the woolly bears. You know, those red and orange and black striped ones? Those are the ones I collected when I was little. Would I do anything with this? You know, honestly, probably not. Because what we're looking at right now in bug terms or in human terms is a teenager. Give it a couple more weeks and it's going to pupate or turn into a moth and it's going to fly off. So if we can deal with the amount they're eating, and I gotta say, this guy is just eating. He's ravenous. Look at all the holes he's put in that. Whoops! Look at all the holes he's put in that sedum leaf today. So if we can deal with that, no problem. If you really don't like them, then we talked about this at the beginning, right? You're going to go through them, just pluck and toss them into a bucket of toss them into a bucket of soapy water with a tiny little bit of bleach. The last bug, and this one's going to be super hard to see. There's two of them right there. This is called a tarnished plant bug, and this is one we don't want. This one has both piercing and sucking mouth parts. So again, it sucks itself to the leaf, but it pierces the leaf kind of like a vampire would pierce the skin. And the difficulty is not only does it suck the juices out of the plant, but it can also, those openings in the leaf now create spots where disease can get in. So when we're looking at things like powdery mildew or rust, one of the challenges is plant bugs can actually start the host for that. So that is a bit of a problem. If we're looking to deal with a plant bug, they fly, so you gotta be careful. Insecticidal soap is not the answer. You wanna use Endol, use that one there, because we need the oil base in it, right? So not only will that oil coat the bug, it's also gonna leave a little bit of a residue on the plant. So if the bug walks through it in the next few hours, then it's more effective too. And we talked about aphids. We talked about aphids on the mandevilla. Usually hand in hand with aphids is something called a spider mite. And I don't have spider mites here. We couldn't find one, but give me a second. We have the remnants of some spider mite damage. And when we look at this hydrangea, you see how the leaves are starting to bronze a little bit? They look speckled. That means they've had spider mites in here. So we've treated the spider mites, and again, spider mites get treated with Endol. And we just want to be sure that they're absolutely gone. So when you are treating, if you're treating with an insecticide, you want to make sure you do it at least twice. So aphids and spider mites, to go from egg to egg laying adult, takes only 7 days. So you generally want to spray about every 7 to 10 days. You're going to do it a total of 3 times. So hopefully that helps, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.